What's going on, Falcon fans? This is your boy Ricardo coming back at you with another video. So today we're gonna talk about the really disappointing loss the Falcons had yesterday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're gonna talk about the offensive side, the defensive side. We'll talk about quick playoff picture and where did the Falcons go from there. Then definitely we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. Is it time to go ahead and see what Desmond Ridder has, before they go into next season? And that's what we're going to do. So, guys, you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button. So you guys know what I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So real quick, we're going to get into, like I said, we're going to talk about recap of the game yesterday, my overall thoughts about the game. Once again, the Falcons just seem like a team that's, not quite able to finish games. For whatever reason it is, they just cannot finish games for some reason. It's always something every week. And usually when you have games like this and teams like this that's never really able to finish those games week in and week out, it's because the team is, really not that good yet. They're on the fringe of the team that has potential, but that's the kind of team that Falcons are, and really, we just can't get over the hump. Marcus Smith keep mentioning that close to team. The games are excited. I think these guys have played 13 games now, and 11 of those games have been one-score games, right? And we're 5-8. So if you just do the math on that, we definitely could have a better record if we was just able to finish the game from an offensive standpoint and a defensive standpoint. And we're just not able to do that. We'll definitely go into some of the reasons why, in my opinion, yesterday, why they didn't get it done from both sides of the ball. And that's what we're gonna get right into it. So we already got some comments here. Frank said he let the rookie beat us. That's sad. Exactly, man. Like I said, we're gonna get into it. We're really gonna get into it, but that's bad. I don't think Marcus Mariota can handle a game within dry pressure. He's a good quarterback, but can't win the game. Definitely going to get into Marcus Mariota as well. I think at this point, like I said, we're definitely going to get into the Marcus Mariota talk, quarterback position, and I got my opinions on it. I had my opinions after the Carolina game. I thought after the Carolina game, the coach should have went on ahead and made a decision then, but he did not. So when I get into talk about the quarterback, we're definitely going to do that. But what I really want to talk about first is the defensive side of the ball. Before we get into the offensive side, let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. And once we'll do that. So talking about the defensive side of the ball. To be honest with you, I mean, if you look at the scores, they only gave up 19 points. So you look at a team, you say, hey, you give up 19 points in a game, that's good for you. They only gave up 3 points in the second half. So looking on the outside, if you just look at the score and you say, well, the defense only gave up 16 points in the first half, 3 points in the second half. Defense played well, but in reality, the defense is still not doing the things that they need to do. And some points I'm gonna make about they can't get out the field on third down. Give up a big explosive play yesterday on the tight end. They would have tackled the tight end. I think he got like a 40-yard run after a missed tackle. I counted about 7 missed tackles. I'm pretty sure it probably was more than that, but I counted 7 just watching the game. missed tackles, and then the problem is the time of possession. If you look at the game yesterday, I'll take a look at it real quick, just to give you guys an idea of where the Atlanta Falcons really having problems, and it's the time of possession is one of the biggest things that we really have to look at and see why the Atlanta Falcons cannot do some of the things that they need to do. So the Pittsburgh Steelers hold the ball for 32 minutes yesterday. The Atlanta Falcons had it for 27 minutes. So looking at it, say, oh, just only 5 minutes different there. But those 5 minutes are big, especially when you only have 7 possessions on offense and your defense can't get out the field when it needs to. Third downs, it really was really killing us yesterday. Their third down percentage, they was at 50% yesterday on third down. So that's not going to win a lot of games for you from a defensive standpoint. Just like Frank said earlier, it was a rookie quarterback out there, and we let the rookie quarterback. You can argue that maybe he's not a rookie anymore because we're in week 13. So it's a lot of a lot of games left that have been played. So he's had the experience of a full college season again, pretty much for himself. So you could say he's not a complete rookie, but at the same time, he hasn't seen everything that he could possibly see in a short period of time, and I felt like he played well enough to beat the Atlanta Falcons yesterday. And he missed some throws as well, some throws that definitely the game could have been a whole lot worse because we got beat on some plays, the overthrows by the quarterback, things like that. But from a defensive standpoint, I felt like the Atlanta Falcons just could not make the plays that they need to make to get our offense back on the field. So, everybody comes in. That's why I want to talk defense first, because when I go into the offense, I definitely get into the offense. But when I look at the defense side of the ball, some of the coverages I don't understand. You playing zone coverage, I understand it, but you let an opponent receiver on the other side get 5 yards before nobody around him, and he get to pick up another 2 yards. That's on first down, and it puts them in second and short. And the way they run the ball yesterday, getting bullied by the Pittsburgh's offensive line for short yardage every time, it was just it was bad, right? So yeah, I mean, QC said, yeah, Kenny Pickett overthrew. He overthrew open receivers a lot. Of course, our quarterback did. We're going to get into our quarterback, but Kenny Pickett did as well. But Kenny Pickett has excuses, a rookie, right? But like I said, it could have been worse than that. It could have been a whole lot worse if he hit some of those targets, because he had some drops as well from some of his players. So I thought the Pittsburgh Steelers offense bailed our defense out a couple of times where it could have been worse for our defense. But the defense, I felt, just could not get off the field when they needed to. Like I said, look at it. They hold the team to 19 points. That's enough. Yes, that's enough. Definitely enough for a win for any NFL. If you hold a team to 19 points, it puts you in position to actually win a game. And we was in a position. So it really, you can't say a whole lot about the defense and some of the things. But at the same time, 50% on third down was really bad for us. Rushing yards. We'll look at the rushing yards here. We gave up 154 rushing yards, 197 passing yards. So that's from a defensive standpoint. Like I said, so we want to talk about a defense. We're going to talk about. I think we got 1 sack in the game. We got a couple of pressures, which was good. I felt like we got bullied on the offensive line from on the defensive line from the Pittsburgh Steelers. We had too many missed tackles, gave up too many big plays, and we could not get out the field on third down. Pittsburgh Steelers was 50% on third down yesterday. It's not going to cut it for us. We have to do better on the defensive side of the ball. Artemis said it's going to be changes everywhere. I can't imagine on the defensive side where you actually can make changes to make the team better because you got who you got. I mean, from a defensive line standpoint, they're already playing a lot of undrafted guys, and things like that. So I don't see this year where you can actually make improvements on your defensive line. But I think he said a lot of changes might be schematic. They're going to make some scheme changes on the defensive side of the ball to make things better. Seemed like they had got away from some of the big plays. That one big play really hurt us. The missed tackle on the tight end, things like that. So we got to be able to do better in those things. And for some reason, we're definitely not able to do that. So we have to be able to get off the field on third down. We got to be able to not give up those long drives. Where I think the first drive that the Pittsburgh Steelers had, when we got the ball back, it was like 7 minutes left in the first half. We only gave up 3 points, but they kept the ball for over 8 minutes. That first drive along, defense got to be able to get off the field. 2 minute third downs given up. Like I said, the Pittsburgh Steelers were 50% on third down yesterday, and that's not going to cut it for us. I think we should have ran the ball more. We're going to definitely get into the offense. I can't agree with you. I cannot agree with you more on that. Our center need to snap the ball better. Another big point. We get to offense. There's a lot to talk about offense. I can promise you that. How about Pitts fumble they called back? Yeah, that was big. That was a big play. I really wasn't too upset because it was third down. We was getting the ball back. Yes, we would have got the ball in better field position. You look at that drive. We got back down there in the red zone anyway, but we didn't capitalize, right? What was the spread? I'm not sure what the spread was in that game. Falcons probably was favored. Be honest with you, I probably got to go back and look at it, but I'm not sure what the spread was in that game. But like I said, guys, from a defensive standpoint, I felt like our defense kind of let us down. Yes, like I said, 16 points in the first half. They only gave up 3 points in the second half. So you're basically saying that, hey, if you can just put up 14 points, we can win the game, right? And we could not do that. So I'm not, dissolving the defense completely because, like I said, too many missed tackles, couldn't get upfield on third downs, one too many explosive plays in the game, and just I felt like they got punked on the defensive line yesterday. So those are some of the things that definitely need to look at. Not saying that they're not playing hard, they quit on the team, things like that. It's just I had another quote out here talk about talent and execution. And that's what it really boils down to. Sometimes some guys just better than you, and it's nothing you can do about it. And then if you don't execute right, like making tackles when you're supposed to make tackles in an open field, that's what's going to happen. And yesterday, from a defensive standpoint, I felt like that's where we was hurt yesterday on the Steelers. We knew the Steelers are a physical team. They're gonna come out. Last 3 or 4 games that we have played have been teams that want to run the ball and don't put their quarterback in harm's way. And once again, we ran into a team that's what they want to do, and we pretty much got dominated on the offensive line yesterday from on our defensive line yesterday. Not really no other way to look at it. Our defense need to tackle better. You are 100% correct. Armor Cater was missed in this game. He sure was. Big time. Big time. We could not get it pressure. Like I said, we got a sack. 1 sack. I think that was a pressure, blitz from our safety. Richie Grant got him a sack. But other than that, I felt like we just didn't do the things that we needed to do in this game yesterday. So, all right, let's talk about the offensive side. Everything. Let's talk about what everybody want to talk about anyway. The offensive side, right? Um, so we'll definitely talk about the offense. And where do we start, right? So, first of all, let's come out. Let's just put it out there. The Pittsburgh Steelers got one of the best rush defenses in the league. They only get up like 104 yards a game. So we knew it was going to be tough to run the ball on those guys. So first of all, I felt the game plan that Arthur Smith came out with was a good game plan, and that game plan was to come out and try to get our guys, get some rhythm in the passing game. However, we do not have the signal caller to do that. So I think that was the first mistake. I understand the game plan. Pittsburgh Steelers is one of the worst pass defenses in the league. So you pass the ball on them. Just go back, look at some of the games they got eat up in their secondary. You can pass the ball on the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's probably their weakness. So you want to take advantage of the Pittsburgh Steelers weaknesses. The issue with that, first of all, it's not the Atlanta Falcons' strength, right? And especially with Marcus Mariota under the center. We talked about this all year long. He's not the kind of passer that you want to just drop back and try to pass the ball. I think they had 19 plays in the first half, which is not really good. Only 19 plays in the first half, but they only had 6 rushes in the first half. So that tells you the game plan was to come out and try to pass the ball on one of the worst pass defenses in the league, which did not work because we our quarterback at this point, and I don't think it's a secret that he's not able to accurately throw the ball down the field um enough efficiently to get it to his receivers, right? It's just not the case. It's been happening like this all season. That's why the game plan is just to run the ball, throw the ball on timely downs, and hope he connects. I mean, that's just really what it boils down to. So I felt like in the first half, from an offensive standpoint, Arthur Smith kind of outsmarted himself. Right, the Falcons' strength is to run the ball. Only ran the ball 6 times in the first half. Passed the ball 13 times, and we saw the results. We came away um, with 3 points in that first half. 6 points. It was only 6 points in the first half. So definitely is not going to get it. Like I said, I understand the game plan because the Pittsburgh Steelers pass defense is not really that good, and they had one of the stoutest rush defenses in the league, and then they were stacking the box. So if you stack the box, you have to take advantage of that in the passing game, and just I mean, from 13 games now, we know Marcus Mariota, for the most part, cannot take advantage consistently to do that. So I felt like they should have just stuck to their guns, run the ball down the Pittsburgh Steelers' throats like they did in the second half, and maybe it would have been a different outcome. So I felt like the game plan was made sense, but it just did not work out for Arthur Smith in that first half. And unfortunately, we got down 16-6 going into the half. I mean, what else you're gonna do? Um, I don't know how many missed throws. I have to go back and probably look at the game. How many missed throws that the quarterback had yesterday? One throw. We can't say one throw. Cordell Hodge touchdown, probably dropped the touchdown pass, got hit him in the hands. He dropped that. But I think every other throw that Marcus Mariota made that was incomplete, it was on the quarterback. I, I mean, you're not in the room. You don't understand routes and combinations. I understand that. You don't know the timing and all that. But from my eye and everybody else that was there at the game eye, it looked like Marcus Mariota just cannot accurately throw the ball down the field. So, um, and that's what it boils down to. It's really no way to other sugarcoat it. I can tell you personally, myself, I've been trying to lobby for Marcus Mariota um pretty much this season. Now, I did come out after the Carolina game and said I felt like they should go ahead and make a change. Um, what do we have to lose? Because you got to be able to throw the ball. Making excuses, I understand. Like I said, his command of the offense, things like that. But at the end of the day, um, Arthur Smith kind of let the team down, in my opinion, because he was so gun ho sticking to his game plan, and the writing was on the wall. In my opinion, the writing was on the wall after the Carolina Panthers game. We should have made the switch then to come in, and we had a mini bye at that point. I felt like if you put somebody in that can actually throw the ball, and I understand that Des Murder is a rookie, he's going to make rookie mistakes, but some of the routine passes, I feel like that any quarterback should be able to make in the professional football league, and I feel like Marcus Mariota is just not consistent enough to make those passes. Um, I like him. I love the way he command offense this year. But at this point, I think he's a backup. And if you want to find out about the future of the Atlanta Falcons, I think it's about time to actually put Des Murder in the game. So Anthony says, "Man, another loss. It's getting old for real. It is. I 100% agree with you. It's past old. Um, at this point, man, like I said, I think I will get into the playoff hunt, but I think at this point we just need to start um looking towards this off season and see how this team can get better. Yes, I'm a glass half empty guy today because of these last two games where I felt like we played good enough to win the game. We just can't capitalize on things that really hurt us. So that's where I'm at today. I have been defending Mark Rogan. I'm getting rubbed to watch him play consistently, overthrowing receivers, missing wide open. I'm really starting to believe it may. Yes, this is the point I'm making, and I'm right with you, Nathan. I've been really trying to defend him for most of the season. After the Carolina Panther game, I won't lie to you guys. I was at that game in Carolina. I thought that was one of the worst games he played. Um, Came back, bounced back a little bit against Chicago, but then reverted back to doing some of the same things with the Commanders. Of course, that's the third time um, we, we don't throw a pick to end the game. The third time, right? So, I mean, if you give the other team the ball when you're trying to win a game, you have no chance to win it. And three times this year, the game has ended on a Marcus Mariota interception. So in all three of those games, um, we had a chance to actually take the lead if we was able to capitalize on that drive. Don't know if it would be better or you know what? I agree with you, but that's the point. We don't know. So what do you have to lose? I mean, at this point, we so close every game, and it ends on a miscue. And like I said, we keep making excuses. Last week, for an example, I made an excuse for Marcus Mariota. I said that Deron Payne made a good play. Um, can't blame it on the quarterback, but maybe he just that guy that when it comes to pressure moments and big time moments in the game, just you know, not good in pressure. We don't know what we're going to get out of Desmond Ritter, but I think it's time. And the reason I think it's time because, um, yes, we still mathematically is not eliminated from the playoff, but I don't think we have a chance with Marcus Mariota to win games. We got a pretty next two games coming up on the road. Of course, we play the Aints in the Superdome, and then we play the Baltimore Ravens on Christmas Eve. So those next two games are not easy games for us, and they're both on the road. The question is, do you want to put the rookie in on those two tough games, two pretty good defenses? At this point, what other better way to see what do you have in Desmond Ritter? See, could he potentially be the future quarterback to put him against two good teams to see what he's made of? That's my opinion at this point. Um, Not saying the season lost, but it's a good chance that we will not make it to the playoffs. So I think these next four games is a good opportunity for Arthur Smith and his coaching staff and the front office to see exactly what they have in Desmond Ritter. Simply because at this point, I think we know what Marcus Mariota is. Um, like I said, I think he's a good, solid backup quarterback for a lot of teams, but a full time starter. I think that ships have sailed. Arthur Smith gave him the opportunity this year, 13 games, and I see no reason why at this point, definitely when it's going to be really hard for us to make it to the playoffs, especially these last four games. So let's see. Um, I think four games against four solid opponents that Desmond Ritter would be going up against would definitely give you an idea of what kind of quarterback he could potentially be for the Atlanta Falcons. Um, you have to look for now and for the future. Of course, you want to get some wins, but at some point, you have to see what do you have in the young rookie. Yeah, I feel the same way. I want to see Mario to shine, but it ain't looking good. No, it's not, man. It's the last play was terrible read, absolute horrible throw. It was three defenders over there. I looked at that. I looked at that play three times already, and I don't know why he threw that ball. He was not. I mean, unless you over, he had to throw him deep over everybody. But and it would have to be a accurate throw at that point if he did that. And we know he cannot throw the ball down the field. So, like I said, I always felt like he was a one read quarterback anyway. And it felt like he got stuck on Drake London and just threw the game away right there. It was already going to be tough. 99-yard drive. You didn't have to go 99 yards. You could have, got us to the 40, tie the game up, maybe take our chances in overtime. But throwing the ball in triple coverage on the first play is just a rookie. That's a rookie mistake, man. And so, definitely, definitely. Quick question: will Arthur Smith be able to play Mariota in the first half of each game and sub Ritter in the third and fourth? Can he do that? He could. He could do that. Definitely. He could definitely do that. He could actually go the Steve Spurrier, Nick Saban route and play both quarterbacks. You do one series, you do one series. That's really not usually done in NFL, but I mean, as a coach, you can do what you want to do. Um, my suggestion: just give the kid the next four games to see what he got, good or bad. I mean, at this point, I don't think you could you could you could lose out, right? It's a third round pick, number 72 overall. You never claimed that he was the future, but he could be. So I think the best thing to do is to give the young man four games, game plan. You have this bye week to kind of change your game plan because it's going to change a little bit because he's not the runner like a Marcus Mariota, but you can change your game plan to fit his skill set a little bit better. He is mobile, but I think he's a better precision passer, man. Just go back and look at some of his throws he made in the preseason. I know it's preseason, and I don't understand the different things are at stake. Defense is scheming up and stuff like that. But in my opinion, it's time to see what Desmond Ritter has. The entire team played bad. Rain contributed, but some was. You talking about the Panthers game? Yes, the entire team played bad. The Panthers game, but I'm just telling you that game. Sitting in the rain, Marcus Mariota, he played really bad that game. I agree. The defense played bad. They gave up like 232 rushing yards. Yeah, it was a bad game all around. But at the end, just like the Falcons do every week, that game it was 15-22, and we had the ball to go with 2 minutes left in the game. See, so once again, um, the defense for some reason is able to give the offense chance every week to win games. Um, they play better in the second half for some reason. Like this week alone, they gave up only 3 points in the second half. That giving your offense a chance. The offense need to wake up, and at this point, um, I love the drive that we had. That rushing touchdown that we had. You got to think about it. We rushed the ball, and we only threw the ball one time, and that time was for the touchdown. So you have to respect that drive. Maybe we should have did that the whole game, but at some point in NFL, as a quarterback, you got to be able to throw the ball down the field. If just go back and look at some of the percentages, he's ranked last on I think plus 20 yards down the field, 29th on other percentages. He's just not accurate throwing down the field for some reason. You can talk the chemistry with the receivers, whatever, but for some reason, he cannot connect on passes down the field. If anything, the parents could cut Baker today. We could sign. Nah, yeah, okay, yeah. I thought you would just no, hell no. I'm glad you were just kidding on that one, man. They why don't they play Mario the first and second, then play Weird in third and fourth in the quarter? I mean, everyone knows that Mario does. I simply believe Ritter can finish games. And like I said, hey, that's like I said, if he decided to do something like that, that'll be interesting. First of all, because that would be rare for most coaches to to switch on quarterback, especially in the NFL. It is done in college a lot, but NFL I haven't really seen that a whole lot where they switching quarterbacks throughout the games. They do have similar skill sets, so the game plan should wouldn't have to change a whole lot. But I don't know. I just don't like that idea because I think Marcus Mariota has had enough time to show what he could do. I think we got enough tape on him. Um, the season where it is. He kept mentioning that. Like I said, I don't think he feels that they completely out of the playoff hunt. But if you're trying to build for the future, um, and you want to know what you have in the young quarterback Desmond Ritter, I think this is the time to do it. And at least we all know, like I said, and this is a good sample because he's going up a good defenses, um, good different schemes, and he still have a chance for something to play for. So it means something as well. Um, I just think it's an opportunity for um, Desmond Ritter to get some good quality snaps in the NFL when we're not completely out of it, but we're kind of out of it. So um, let's just do it because no one knows how he plays. That might give us upper hand finishing games. Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's why that first game probably is going to be really interesting because no film on him. They got to go back to preseason and figure out what he does well. So I can actually see him playing pretty good in the first game against the Aints because no film is on him. Usually that's what happens when you change quarterbacks and no film on that guy. And then you go out and change the game plan around. It takes them a while to figure out, what's going on. So that's a good point. Um, I just don't think Arthur Smith's going to do it. I think when he make the decision to make switch quarterbacks, he's going to do it. I mean, nothing is working. We have too many winnable games left. The chances of going to playoffs get slimmer and slimmer every loss. Yes, I mean it's really slim now. So today a poll came out. If um, if the Bucks win tonight on Monday Night Football, the Atlanta Falcons have a 4% chance of going to win a division. If the Saints win tonight, the Atlanta Falcons have a 10% chance to win the division. So um, those are not good odds. And of course, that dictates they're looking at the rest of the schedule for all three teams. Looking at, could we go, 4-0? Definitely could, especially with Lamar Jackson being injured now. Definitely could beat the Saints. Definitely, like I said, Lamar Jackson is going to, we don't know his status for the Christmas Eve. He's going to be 100% back. Be taking it to Kyler Murray, coming to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Definitely have a chance there. And then that, that season finale against the Bucks. So I agree with you 100%. Winnable games, but the percentage on us winning these games is getting tougher and tougher. Like I said, if Tampa wins, 4% chance of us winning the division. If the Aints win, 10% chance. So that's not a lot of good odds for us to making the winning division. And I really believe at this point, the only way we're going to get in the playoffs, we need to win the division. So at this point, like I said, guys, in my opinion, it is time. They need to go ahead and make the decision, and let's see what Des Ridder can do. And this is not just for this season; it's for the future as well. Can he be a franchise quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons move forward? Because if not, the Falcons will give the Falcons decisions what they might need to do in the draft or what they can do on the trade fronts. Trading for a quarterback or something like that. So this decision, in my opinion, is a big decision because of where we're at right now in the playoff picture. It's going to be tough for us to get in. It's not. It's not. We're out of it yet, but at the same time, it's not like we've been winning with Marcus Mariota anyway. So why not make a change to see what we're able to do? Arthur Smith is going to have to make a change. If not, yeah, yeah. I think it's time for him to make his change, man. I just think at this point, he need to go ahead and make that decision to do what he needs to do. The body language and look at the Smith face press conference look bad. That was a look of feet. See, at this point, I think what it was I think he realized after the game that he needs to go ahead and make a change. And coaches don't like to be wrong. Let's be honest with you. People don't like to be wrong and realize that, dang, I think I waited 2 games too many, right? They don't like to realize and admit that, you know, that I should have did this a while ago. So it is the realization that, yeah, we just need to go ahead and look for the future. And and sometimes when you decide to do that, your team's like, oh, we giving up. I don't think you look at it as giving up. I think it's just putting another guy in there to see what he actually has. Desmond Ridder stayed in college 4 years. He's not a young guy. I think he's mature enough to be able to handle it, and he might be the leader they need. We just don't know. But you have to find out. I think you just have to find out if he's the guy, and that's my opinion. We'll definitely see what Arthur Smith decides. He says he's going to let us know next Monday. Um, after the bye, let us know next Monday to see what their decision would be. I feel like it's going to be Desmond Ridder. If not, I think he basically saying that something wrong with Desmond Ridder. If this is not the time for Desmond Ridder to actually take over the helm, I don't know when is the time. That's just where we're at right now. Um, we could try at least one game. I mean, it couldn't hurt more already. That I agree with you. I not to, in my opinion, when he makes the change, he need to stick to it for the rest of the year. So that's why I'm pretty sure why he decided to wait and hold off to go ahead and make this decision. And he mentioned today as well, sometimes you don't want to put a guy out there too early because it could ruin his career, right? If you don't think they're ready, you don't want to put them out there. Let's think about David Carr, right? When he got drafted #1 overall for the Houston Texans, and he got destroyed, and his year his career got cut short because you put him out there too fast, and he could not handle it. Right? You look at a guy like Peyton Manning, played his rookie year through so many interceptions, but it was good for him to get out there and get that experience. Look at Troy Aikman, another guy um, that came in and played bad, and he actually got benched and then came back in. So you have to look at different situations with different rookies and see how they come out. Then you have guys like Joe Burrow came out and looked good from them day one. Justin Herbert looked really good. And, you knew that you had a guy. Now these guys are definitely different because they was first round picks. So I understand that when you get first round picks, but that's why I think it's so much easier for the Atlanta Falcons to do this because they're not tied to Desmond Ritter like a #1 pick. He's a third round pick, so it wouldn't be anything for you to put him out there, and if he don't pan out, to draft another quarterback in this next upcoming draft because it's not a first round pick, and you're not forced to like just to stick with this guy because you put all your eggs on one batch on the first rounder. So that's why I think it's a good opportunity for Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot to find out what this young man has. He was drafted for some reason, right? I think he has a chip on his shoulder. We remember, in mini Ricky camp and things he was talking about. He had a plan to become the starter. I think the worst thing Arthur Smith probably could have did was not even make it an open competition in camp. They just completely named Marcus Mariota the starter, from day one, and Desmond Ridder never really had a chance to compete for the starting position. So that's another issue. But all in all, this team has played really, really tough football all year. Just too many executions at the end of the game, not just from an offensive standpoint, but from a defensive standpoint as well, that we just can't get over the hump. But I have seen too many times that the offense had the ball in his hand at the end of the game, and we're not able to capitalize on it. So that's where we're at, and that's why I think this decision is now. I'm not really looking for Ritter to be the face of the franchise right now. I just want him to be a quality starter that can grow and be the face of the franchise going forward. As well, I'm not even looking for him to be the face of the franchise either. I just want to know, can he play? Right? Can he do what Marcus Mariota has not been able to do all season? And really, what I'm saying is, I mean, let's get off the quarterback. Let's talk about some bright things. How Drake London looked yesterday. Drake London looked it awesome, and that's what I mean. Just being able to get the ball to our playmakers like a Drake London. Unfortunately, we can't say Kyle Pitts is out for the rest of the season, but being able to just get the balls in our young, outstanding offensive players' hand to see what they can able to do with it. You got to be able to. I think the run game is not going anywhere. You got to have respect for those monsters in that backfield, and Cardell Patterson and Caleb Huntley and Tyler Algier. Those guys are running the ball hard as they can, and so I mean those are the things that you have to love, right? You have to respect that, and so being able to just expand our offense completely from a passing standpoint. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to see from this team to be able to do that. That's what you want to be able to do that. That's why you drafted a Kyle Pitts at number 4 to be able to throw the ball to him down the field. That's why you drafted a Drake London at number 8. You didn't draft those guys to be run blockers. Run blocking is what you have to do, to be a complete football player. But they was not drafted to be run blockers. They were drafted to be dynamic weapons down the field to be able to move the chains and make defense honest. If you utilize your weapons, they can't stack 8 in the box. Your run game get easier then because now you have to make sure that they can stop your passing game as well. And we fed right into the Steelers plan in the first half because we came out and passed the ball, knowing that our quarterback is not capable of throwing the ball down the field consistently. Yes, he make throws. You go look back at that game, you'll see some of the throws that Marcus Mariota made. He made good throws, but consistently, that's not what he does. And I can't recall a really deep pass down the field that he made. That was a good pass down the sideline to Drake London yesterday, but he missed him going deep. I don't know what that was. And then he probably could have had more than one interception yesterday as well because I felt like a couple of passes he got lucky on. So that's just where I'm at, guys. I mean, Mario, the wife, is due anytime. He will go. Now, he ain't going on maternity leave. I mean, they just had a baby, then they'll be back to work. But that could be an excuse, right? Hey, just go spend time with your wife. I think he actually was not at practice today. They said he was not in the building today. His wife went in labor today, so that's one thing we do want to congratulate him on. I think that his first child. That's awesome. He's a good guy. I like Marcus Mariota. That's why I said he could definitely be a backup for us. But moving forward, I just think that, and we knew he was a bridge quarterback anyway. I don't think we felt like he was going to be the quarterback of the future for the Atlanta Falcons. But at this point, I just think it's time to go ahead and let's see what the young Desmond Ridder has in store for us. Like I said, we talk about the playoffs. I'm going to really talk about it real quick. Like I said, honestly, the playoffs, we still have a chance. We're not out of the playoffs. Like I said, if the Bucks win tonight, they anticipate a 4% chance the Falcons win the division. If the Aints win tonight, 10% chance. That's definitely depending on, of course, these teams got to win as well. Same time, like the Falcons losing and stuff like that. So if you look at this season in the whole, when we lose, they lose. So if the Bucks lose tonight, I think it'll be like a 3-way tie for at 5-8, and then so that'll be a big game for us coming off the bye against the Aints, right? That'll be a huge game for us. Could that be a determination whether Arthur Smith decide to keep Marcus Mariota in that starter because he feel like we still in a playoff hunt, or will he go ahead and make the decision? That question was asked him today. Would the outcome of the game tonight, be a factor on decision he make moving forward? He said no, but it's gonna be interesting to see that because if the Bucks lose, the Falcons definitely still have a chance to win the division. Slim chance, yes, because we got, like I said, 4 tough games coming up, 2 on the road, 2 at home. So it's not going to be easy for this team to be able to go 4 straight wins. So do you want to go ahead and switch? You still in the playoff hunt? I don't know. I would, like I said, I would have did it 2 games ago. To be honest with you, I would have did it after the Panthers game. But Arthur Smith decided to sit on it and wait, and so that's where we're at. Pamela says, "Hope it's all well, Mario." I like I said, we want to congratulate him on his new kid. I wonder if it's a boy or girl. I guess we'll hear about that later. I think Ridder, he will be okay. Yes, Which we'll put him in. Yeah, we'll have to see. He don't want to put him in a bad situation. I do know that. That's why he. I think that's why he's hesitant. He wanted to make sure Ritter is ready to go. Kind of did the same thing with Richard Grant last year. Richard Grant was drafted, and he didn't start the season because Dean Smith felt like he wasn't ready. So yeah, poor Richard Grant too. That's still for him, man. That's gonna stay in um, out there for a long time. Najee Harris kind of, that was bad. I don't know if you guys seen that. So that was really, really bad. Um, 6 reception, 12 targets, 95 yards. Yes, like I said, Drake was a monster in that game. Really a monster in that game. And I want to bring up one big thing for Marcus Mariota in defense of him, of course, is the low snaps by Drew Dalman. I felt like it was a lot of bad snaps yesterday by the center. So we don't want to overlook that. Like I said, sometimes it's timing and things like that. I don't know how much that factor in some of his bad throws, but he was able to catch those snaps, and I felt like he had time to progress the field and make the right throws. And I felt like, so yes, Drew Dalman definitely had some bad snaps yesterday. He got to fix that. Art Smith was asked about that today as well. He defended it. He said Drew Dalman is doing good. Definitely got to work on those snaps though. He has to stop that. That's not good. Like I said, because that definitely can affect your timing and things like that. Being able to have to catch snaps that's low, not all over the place. So that they really need to work on that. That's in defense of Marcus Mariota, right? So we're gonna do that. Also, the penalties. Let's talk about the penalties. The holding penalty. Jake Matthews, 2 false start holding. I don't know what was going on with Jake Matthews yesterday as well. So the penalties really hurt us. The the low snaps by Drew Dalman. So those all factors could go in defense of Marcus Mariota. The delay of game, that's definitely his fault. 100% Marcus Mariota's fault. A guy's been in the league 8 years. You cannot have delay of game, especially in a big moment of the game. So those things factor on the offense as well. Penalties, low snaps, those kind of things hurt us. Took us out of put us at 3rd and longs on a couple of drives. And I don't know how you feel about it, but if we get 3rd and 9 or longer, I feel like we're gonna punt because I don't feel like Marcus Mariota can throw the ball that far down the field. It's just how I feel every time we get in 3rd and long. I feel like we finna punt the ball or kick a field goal, depending on where we at on the field. So those penalties hurt us really yesterday. They did. But I still don't think that takes away from some of the overthrows, some of the misplacements with the ball, with your receivers. I thought Drake could have had more than 6 receptions yesterday. That definitely was a penalty they should have called in the red zone on the Steeler player. So I mean, they just called 3 penalties on the Falcons that drive, and then don't call that penalty. I think that's a bunch of crap, but should never put the game in the ref hands anyway. We had opportunities, we just could not capitalize. Like I said, the penalty hurt us. That holding penalty on Parker Hesse on Cardell touchdown callback. The fumble that they called back on us. That they called back. All those plays are big plays in the game, but at the same time, I just felt like we had opportunities to make plays that we could have definitely had a chance to win this game yesterday. So with the penalties, the callback fumble, all those things, I still don't think that's the reason why we lost the game. We can always pick up Baker Mayfield. Hell no. He would have a different center Hesse due to the comeback. If I'm not mistaken, I think Hesse will start. Hennessy, yeah, you probably right. He did mention Hennessy is going to be back, but I think they like Drew Dalman. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they really like Drew Dalman. Remember, Hennessy was Thomas Dimitrov pick, not Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot's draft pick. Drew Dalman was so. I think they want to give Drew Dalman every opportunity to be. That's their pick, their draft pick. Hennessy, lost the competition. You know, going into coming out of training camp. So um, unless Drew Dalman, and he had praise for him for Drew Dalman today, he definitely did not say that. But he did say everything was on the table. So we'll just have to see. Nathan says, "Man, Grant got. Oh man, that was bad. That stiff arm looked really bad. They probably should have put him in the concussion protocol after that. They didn't though. That was a hot mess. Congratulations, Marcus Mario's wife on that first child. Yes, 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 yes. Congrats, Marcus. Even though you might be benched, yes, we definitely need to look at the new center. Holman can't snap the ball. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean that's one of the things. Like that's why I was looking at Linderbaum in the draft. I'm glad we took Drake, right? But I thought Tyler Linderbaum was a good pickup. I think he's a day one starter coming in for those guys. Whoever I forgot who got drafted him, but it's a big pickup for them. We definitely probably look at centers. Um, couple of minutes, yeah, it was yeah. I think the ref, like I said, that those refs, man. I hate when the ref, you know, mess up games. Like I said, that was definitely a holding in the end zone. I mean, we'd have first and goal. We probably score. It'll be 20-19. Then our defense get back out there. We would have had a chance, right? So, um, we'll never know because they did not call it. Yep. What's up, Millie Mills? We talking Desmond Ritter, man. Let's go ahead and put the young rookie in. Well, I was joking. Oh, I know you were joking about it. I hope you were joking about Baker Mayfield. Man, that that franchise gave up so many draft picks on Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield to not really know who's going to be their franchise quarterback moving forward. Um, they got a lot of big decisions. Their defense is really good. Um, so once they figure out their offensive side, they're gonna be a problem for us. In the upcoming future, with that defense that they have. That defensive front is stout, a pretty good defensive back, good linebacker, and Shaq Thompson. So those guys got a good future over there in Carolina. That's why we can't be playing around. The first team that find a franchise quarterback is really going to be the key, right? Because the Bucks, they got their quarterback he's old, right? And then you got the Saints don't know who their future quarterback is. Of course, the Panthers don't know either. And then you have us who we're not sure, our direction at the quarterback position as well. So the first team that gets a franchise quarterback in that division is going to be the team that everybody's going to have to be worried about. It's just pray it's going to be us, guys. Oh my gosh, Pamela, I'm glad you mentioned this. That was the weirdest. I have never seen, and I'm a season ticket holder, so I go to all the games, and I can honestly tell you this: I have never seen that many fans from an opposing team in that stadium before. Fans travel. I can tell you this: a lot of time, the fans do get loud in our stadium because we have fair weather fans. Let's just be honest. Atlanta Falcons don't have the faithful fans like these other franchises do. So, but that was just it was like a Steelers home game yesterday. I mean, when Marcus Mariota was under center, he had to walk up to his teammates to give them the call because that's how loud it was. It was they fan base travel. It was terrible. Tower was everywhere. Um, so kudos to their fan base to make it like a Pittsburgh still a home game. But yeah, that's bad. But you know what? We got to start to win. I mean, at some point, if we want to create a fan base like that, the Atlanta Falcons have to start to win, right? They can't continue to, to be one of those teams that have a good season, have a bad season, have a good season. We need to be a consistent team and start winning, and don't have to go to the championship every year, to the Super Bowl. Just be in the playoffs at least. Be in the playoff hunt every year. Start to being a competitive team every year. That's what we got to start doing to create a fan base like the Steelers. And I got 6 Super Bowls, so um, it was really you. I agree with you 100%. It was really a Steelers home game. Yeah, man. Yeah, it. I mean, he that one pass, and I don't know if you looked at the replay. He threw it. I think it was an out route to Drake, and he threw the ball, and Arthur Smith was right there. Look at his face. Where he was like, "Come on, man!" I mean, I don't understand how you overthrow a 6'5" guy that much. He didn't even have. I don't understand it, man. It just don't make any sense to me. Don't make any sense. Curtis Smith has to do what he needs to do to literally risk his job to play. Yeah, he has to, man. He has to make the he. I mean, really, and I said this earlier, but in reality, Arthur Smith has to go ahead and put Death Murder in. He needs to give him a good sample size. We can identify, can he be that guy? These are good 4 games to do it. I mean, the Aints, the Ravens, the Cardinals, and the Bucks. What other good different teams that you can put a young quarterback against to see what he got? I mean, a rivalry game. Going into the Superdome, it's gonna be a hostile crowd. Yes, he's a rookie, but that's what he's made of. We want to see what he's made of. We want to put him out there, see what he got. Right. Then we go to the Baltimore on Christmas Eve. We don't know if Lamar is going to be back or not. But that's going to be another tough game. You know, in Baltimore. Then we come home for our last 2 against the Cardinals and the Bucks. I think this is a good sample size for Desmond Ritter to see what he's made of. No gimme games. They all winnable in my opinion. Let's see what Desmond Ritter made of. I think he sat back there, watched Marcus Mariota, what not to do, definitely, right, for the most part, and see can he can make some of those routine throws. I mean, the throws we're talking about, guys, they're routine throws. Um, it's not like pinpoint accuracy where you have to drop the ball into a cup or something. I mean, just deep shots down. You lead your guy, but he can come up underneath the ball. Um, Regular out routes, crossing routes, things like that. Those are passes. I mean, last week, Mark Murray threw the ball to Drake London, and he had to catch the ball, down at his feet because it was so low. That was just a basic crossing route. So that's what I'm talking about. I think Desmond Ritter can do better than that, right? He's going to make mistakes. He's a rookie. Never been out there. Like I said, going to the Superdome against the New Orleans Aints, rivalry game. It's going to be a big game, regardless what the record is between the teams. Um, it's good old fashioned, one of the best rivalries in the NFL. What other better way to see what Desmond Ritter is made of than put him in that game? Yes, the Steelers have a legacy of winning. That's what I'm talking about. And they have an identity already, right? We're trying to create that. Um, so, and they showed their identity yesterday. They just was tougher than us, especially on our defensive line got punked. Last time Falcon lost, the Chicago Bears took Georgia Dome 2014 season when Matt Ryan was under center. Good. I think I remember that game too. I think I remember that game. I think Arthur Blank gave him a little time. You think? Yeah, I mean, I hopefully Terry Fontenot gave him a talk as well. Like, dude, we need to see what's up with Desmond. And like I said, I think the writing is on the wall because of the where we're at in the playoff picture. That's the reason why I think um, the decision to put Ritter in is going to be made because of where we're at in the playoffs. That's just the reason why. I think if we were still in the hunt, just say we would beat the Commanders, came back and beat the Steelers, we wouldn't be having this conversation. No matter how Marcus Mariota had played, right? Um, Even yesterday with all the overthrows, we could have somehow came out with a win yesterday. I don't think we would be having this conversation right now. I think the fact that we're at this point because 4 games to go, um, potentially a long shot to be in the playoffs. Why not see what your young rookie quarterback has before you go into the offseason, where you can actually figure out um, what you really need to do, going into next season. I had not, this whole season, I haven't looked at any draft prospects to see, who is going to be potentially who we might take in the first round because I was so locked into the season. But at this point, maybe it's just I may need to start looking and see who's out there. I do see definitely some needs that we have. Of course, the Falcons always say best player available, right? When they talking about the draft, so there's going to be some big names up in there that hopefully they fit our needs. I definitely think we need some defensive line help. I think we need some secondary help as well. Um, Probably need another pass rusher because we still not getting home um, as much as we need to. I thought our Armor Ebiketie made a lot of strides this year. Of course, we missed him yesterday, definitely, but that's where we're at. I think we need to find out what we have going into next year. Um, I don't see why these next 4 games can't be, um, to see. You need to go ahead and shake it up, put it out there. Still trying to win games, is not giving up on the season, but I think we have enough sample size to know what Marcus Mariota is able to do. I think it's now to see what Desmond Ritter can do. James says Dean Pease need to find guys that can tackle. Oh my gosh, man. I counted 7 missed tackles yesterday. I don't know how many you counted. Probably more than that, but I counted 7 definitely. Missed tackles, man. Then it seemed like they waiting on the guy to come towards them. When you tackling, you have to be the aggressor, right? I know you want to get broken down, but you can't let the guy catch the ball and run 3 yards and let him come to you, then make the tackle. I mean, he already picked up 4 on the reception, and then you give him an extra 3 because you let him come to you to make the tackle. It don't make any sense to me. I just don't understand that philosophy. So definitely good point. We need to be able to find some tackles, find guys that can hit. We need some dogs, man. They're making business. I bet Richard Grant wish he would have made a business decision, like Primetime said, right? He make a business decision there. All right, guys, that's it. Like I said, thank you guys for coming in, talking to me about our very disappointing loss yesterday at the Steelers home game in the Atlanta Falcons Mercedes-Benz Stadium yesterday. But definitely had a chance to win the game once again. How many times have we said that this year that we had a chance to win the game? You just go back and I know it's been 13 games, but if you go back to the Los Angeles Rams game, how did that game end? On a Marcus Mariota interception. Um, the Commanders game, how did that game end? On a Marcus Mariota interception. Pittsburgh Steelers, how did that game end? On a Marcus Mariota interception. I mean, what more can you say? Um, I thought the defense played well enough to put us in position in those games, right? They probably didn't play good enough in the first half, but in the second half, somehow they're able to kind of just make the plays they need to make to keep the game close. Hope your offense gets get going like yesterday. Um, Finally got the running game going. Probably should have started off with that, start the game, but we did not. But just can't make those key plays. And the old saying is, um, big time players make big time plays in big time games, right? Um, and Marcus Mariota just can't make the big time plays in the big moments, man. For some reason, I mean, go back to the Aints game, the fumble, right? Third down, and fumble the snap, right? You fumble the ball going into the end zone. So many plays that you can just you know play back in your head. And all these plays, most of the time, I was defending Marcus Mariota, but at this point, I think his time has run out. I think we're at the point of the season where our chances of making the playoffs are slim, and I think every fan and every decision maker in the Falcons should want to see what we have in Desmond Ritter moving forward. That should be the game plan moving forward. I really think we don't need a running quarterback. Um, and I agree with you. I think we need a mobile quarterback, and Desmond Ritter is mobile. I don't think we need a running quarterback. I agree with you 100%. That running game is ridiculous, man. That three-headed monster we got in that running game. Um, Now I can tell you this: Marcus Mariota does add an element in that read option because him keeping that ball does make defenders on the end hesitate just a little bit. So that will be lost. But I think Desmond Ritter can do that a little bit as well. Not as to the degree as Marcus Mariota because that's what he does. But the fact that Desmond Ritter is more of a pocket passer with a little mobility to him, I think that will play more into Arthur Smith offense. Go back to a guy like Ryan Tannehill. He's not really a running quarterback. He's mobile enough to make plays that need to be made. That's what we need. Um, and let's be honest, that's why Marcus Mariota got benched for Ryan Tannehill in the first place because the big plays and the big moments just not there, man. Mind you, he 8-year vet still getting exactly, man. It doesn't make sense at all. Like what's going on? I agree with you 100%. Doesn't make sense at all. I mean, a lot of quarterbacks they love those moments, man. That's why you think they call Matty Ice, Matty Ice. I don't know what's going on, Matt Ryan, right now. I can tell you that 3 interceptions last night. But that's why you think they call him Matty Ice. Why you think Tom Brady's so cool and collected and big? Because they love those moments, right? I think Desmond Ritter is built for that too. I don't know. We got to see it, right, in the pros. But I just feel like he has that in him. And I want to see it at this point of the season, man. Let's do it, man. Put the rookie in. I know, right? Wait a couple of years and bring in Shadur. Oh, I love that, man. I love that. He says, but he's been in 8 seasons, man. If you can't get your feet set now and don't understand that, um, I mean, he's just not that guy, man. Let's just be honest about it. He's not that dude. All right, guys. I think I beat the dead horse enough. Talk about Desmond Ritter, Marcus Mariota. Talking about the game. Um, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and start looking at some draftees. But I'm gonna focus on our needs right now first. Um, while we got this bye week, start looking at some potential draftees that we definitely could draft. Of course, some names pop right out of my head. Jalen Carter, he won't be there where we're picking, unless we lose the rest of our games. Maybe we'll have to see. But that definitely that monster in the middle was with Grady Jarrett there would be awesome. Somebody to have. But we'll have to see where we fit in the draft. Definitely gonna look at some defensive linemen. Look at some, like I said, some DBs. I see some people going out there talking about we do not need another running back. I understand the kid from Texas. I get it, but we do not need another running back, man. Um, so I think that's just kind of ridiculous. But we could definitely use some defensive players, pass rushers, some defensive linemen. We could use some another cornerback maybe, and we could definitely probably use offensive lineman as well. Those are some of the needs that the Falcons. They could definitely pick up some of those needs in free agency, but we want to focus on the draft um, right now, and I'll probably come back with you guys and talk about some potential draftees that the Falcons could definitely look at moving forward. Um, we need to go ahead and take this time to enjoy the bye and see can these guys do something these days. Mark Murray don't have the touch when he's throwing the flat. I think, man, it look like he closing his eye when he throw the ball deep. I'm just be honest with you because I don't know where that ball be going. It don't look like he be close to the receiver. Yeah, it don't look like he. I think he be like he closing his eyes, man. I don't know. He don't follow through. Yeah, it seems like he just closed his eyes, like he just throw it up there. Hopefully, somebody come up under it or something. James said, "Do you think they will trade Pitts?" No, no, they're not gonna trade Pitts, man. Pitts gonna be here. Pitts, Drake, London, is gonna be part of the future. Do not see that at all. Um, I can tell you this: they first two drafts been pretty good, so they continue to do the things they've been doing in the draft. You gotta like what you see moving forward, right? And then you gotta expect the guys that they drafted to get better, right? So D'Angelo Malone, Armor Ebiketie, Troy Anderson. Thought Troy Anderson made a big play yesterday as well. Um, to try to get us the ball back. Um, Still learning linebacker position, but we just didn't make enough plays to win the game. Take a look at Carl Brooks out of Burlingame. I heard that name. I'm definitely gonna check out a couple of guys. Definitely come back with me guys on Wednesday. We'll talk about some of those potential draftees. Focus on defense first, defensive guys first, because I think that's where our biggest need. Um, End of the day, we got to find a franchise quarterback. However you want to look at it, wherever by any means necessary to find that franchise guy. But once we get a franchise quarterback, you know, in place, guy that we could say could be our future, right? Then we could try to build a team. If we could get a young guy, right, that don't have to pay right now because we know the quarterback eats up the salary, but we get a young guy. So let's just say Desmond Ritter paying out to be potentially that guy. We can build a team around him, and you have a couple of years before you have to get him his big contract. So that's right. This right here is big. A free agent. Yeah, we get another Alex Mack. That will be big for us. Last. Peace out, Ricardo. Rise up, my brother. Yep. You too, man. You too, guys. Like with that being said, guys, that's it for the day. Thank you guys for coming in and talk to me. Let's see if Arthur Smith takes, mostly people advice about go ahead and making that quarterback change. If he does not, that tells you a little bit about what they think about Desmond Ritter. Because at this point, um, how do you know what the young guy can do if you don't go ahead and decide to make a change, right? So that's where it is. So this is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.